Hello everyone, I'm welcome to TechBlock. Today we are back with episode 1 of the Setup Block show. I posted episode 0 over a month ago and the overwhelming response was please upload more, and I got a lot of setup submissions sent in by everyone here on the TechBlock channel. So thank you very much for all the people that submitted their setups already. I've got a lot of videos that I need to film reviewing all of your setups, and if you do want to submit your own setup to be featured on this show, please read the instructions in the description down below and send your setups to this email right here. So with all that said, there's one more thing. I would like to give a big shout out to Frank from the Random Frank P channel, as well as Ed from TechSource for inspiring me to make my own setup review show. I'll leave both of their channels linked in the description down below if you do want to go check out some more setup reviews from other people. So yeah, apart from that, let's jump straight into episode 1 of Setup Block. Alright, so the first setup comes from Roy. He is 16 years old and this is his setup. I can't believe that you're 16 years old and you have this beast of a setup, dude. It's crazy. This entire setup has a beautiful black and white theme going on. Unfortunately, you didn't send me any photos with any of your monitors turned on, so I don't really know what wallpaper you have. But nevertheless, dude, this is a beautiful setup, and your PC genuinely puts my PC to shame, and this entire setup is just beautiful, dude. Your monitors are wall mounted by those of things. The one thing that I want to criticize you on is that there are cables running across your entire desk, but I understand if you may not want to drill a hole through your desk, because you might kind of like ruin the desk and have like permanent holes in your desk like I do. But yeah, the one thing that I would probably recommend for you to do is consider maybe drilling a hole or two in your desk for those two cables right there, but it's not necessary as your desks look a little bit more expensive than mine, and I doubt you want to be drilling holes through them. But if you can, you know, that might be something to think about if you do want to improve the cable management even further. And speaking of your cable management, apart from your mouse pad and keyboard wire running across your entire desk, the rest of your cable management, I'd give a 10 out of 10, dude. You've absolutely nailed the cable management. Everywhere else, it looks beautiful. There are Velcro cable ties pretty much everywhere, holding everything together. And by the looks of things, everything's very, very well organized as well. So very, very good job with your cable management. One more thing I would like to mention is that you do have two headsets here. One is the Logitech G33, which I'm guessing you use for gaming, and then you also have the Audio-Technica M50Xs in white. Now, your headphone stands, one I believe is the Corsair RGB headphone stand, and the other one isn't. So if I was you, I'd pick up a second Corsair RGB headset stand for your Audio-Technica headset. So apart from that though, I don't have any other criticisms of your setup. It's just beautiful. Taking a look at your PC right here, it's an absolute beast. It puts my PC to shame. It has an i7 6850K CPU sitting inside of the Asus X99 Deluxe 2 motherboard. You have 64 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance white LED RAM. You also have two Galax GTX 1080 Hall of Fame graphics cards in SLI. Wow. And this entire PC is powered by the Corsair AX1500i power supply. A 1500 watt power supply. Holy crap, dude. And all of the components inside of your PC are sitting inside of the Phanteks Enthoo Luxe white PC case, which I gotta say matches the theme of your setup very, very nicely. Taking a look at your peripherals right here, you have the Corsair K95 RGB Platinum keyboard with the Cherry MX speed switches. For your mice, you have the Logitech G903 as well as the G703, and they're both sitting on top of the Logitech PowerPlay mousepad, which I believe features wireless charging, which is very, very nice. For your microphone, you have the Audio-Technica AT2050, and you even have a black and white pop filter matching the theme of your setup very nicely, and you've even cable managed your microphone wire here as well. So honestly, dude, fantastic setup. I love your chair. It looks very, very comfortable. From Noble Chairs, it is the Noble Chairs Epic chair. I'm kind of debating now whether I should go for one of these chairs or a GT Omega chair for my own setup. But nevertheless, dude, Roy, fantastic setup. I love the theme, and your setup genuinely is beautiful. Thank you, Roy, for submitting your setup. I can't believe that you're 16 years old and you have this beast of a setup, dude. I hope you have a lot of fun gaming or doing whatever you do with this setup. Let's move on to the next one. The next setup here comes from Ava. Ava is 27 years old and this is Ava's setup. You did mention that you use this setup mainly for gaming, streaming, and then some stuff for work as well. And that you can't really cable manage a lot of the cables in your setup, mainly because you go to a lot of LAN events and you pretty much have to move everything around all the time. You also mentioned that you are going to be swapping out the Samsung monitor that is on the left-hand side right here, and you're going to be replacing that with a 27-inch AOC monitor very soon. And I'm guessing that's going to be the exact same monitor that you have on the right here. So you'll have two matching monitors, which I'm sure will look very, very nice. But it is kind of funny that you're using a bed sheet to hide away all the cables that you can't cable manage. Taking a look at the PC right here, it has an i7-8700K overclocked to 4.8 GHz. It is cooled by the Corsair H1500i Pro all-in-one liquid cooler. For your motherboard, you have the Gigabyte Z370 AORUS Ultra Gaming. You also have 16 GB of RAM in total, running at 3200 MHz, and that is also the Corsair White LED RAM. For your graphics card, you have the Asus ROG Strix GTX 1070. For your SSDs, you have a Samsung 960 EVO M.2 SSD right here, as well as a 120GB SSD from Kingston that is sitting right here. And for your hard drive, you have a 1.5TB Western Digital Black hard drive. This entire PC is powered by a Seasonic Focus Plus 750W power supply, and all of the components are sitting inside of the Corsair Carbide 400C PC case. And you even have a lovely white LED fan from, I'm guessing, Corsair. Fantastic stuff here, a lovely little PC, and I'm sure it's very good for the LAN events that you go to with all your friends. Taking a look at Ava's peripherals, she is using the Logitech G902 mouse, the Corsair K95 RGB Platinum keyboard with MX speed switches. For her mouse pads, she has the Corsair MM300 extended mousepad for her keyboard and other mousepad, which is the Corsair MM800 Cloth Edition RGB mousepad that she uses for her mouse. Okay? And then she also has the Logitech C922 webcam over on the AOC monitor, which is the main one here. And then for her headset, she's using the Corsair Void Pro wireless RGB. I think the main problem with this setup is probably the cable management, but you do go to a lot of LAN events with all of your friends, so I'll forgive you for that. Now, if I was you, I'd probably consider picking up a new desk for your setup. Now, consider picking up something like the IKEA Malm desk in white. I think that would look very nice in your setup, and you would still have some storage units to store whatever you need to store in there. And I think that desk would look much, much nicer than this desk in your setup, and especially when you get your second monitor, I think that would look very good. But apart from that, I don't really know how your setup would look like with this new desk, so maybe in the future, resubmit your setup if you do end up getting your second monitor and the new desk as well. Thank you very much, Ava, for submitting your setup. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. The next setup comes from Cameron, who is 17 years old. He is an avid gamer as well as a streamer on Twitch. I'll leave his Twitch channel linked in the description down below. The first thing that I thought to myself when I saw this setup is like, you have 6 displays, dude. You have 5 monitors and a TV. This is basically like the perfect stock trading setup. You could have like stocks and charts open on all these different monitors and TVs and stuff. This is the perfect stock trading setup right here. So Cameron, if you ever get into like stock trading or like day trading, you've got the perfect setup. You can open up like 10 different charts on all these monitors and stuff. This is crazy. Taking a closer look at your peripherals right here, you have the Razer Black Widow Chroma V1 with the Razer green keys. For your mouse, you have the Razer Death Adder Chroma. For your mouse pad, you have the Firefly Hard Edition mouse mat. For your headset, you have the Bose Quiet Comfort 35 Series 1. For your microphone setup, you have the Audio-Technica AT2020 USB Plus microphone, which is very similar to the microphone that I have in my own setup. For the microphone arm, you have a Rode PSA-1 microphone arm, and then you also have a generic shock mount and pop filter. You also have 2 gigantic JVC SP-E73 speakers in your setup. I can't imagine how loud those speakers are. You're even using one of the speakers as a TV stand for your 32-inch JMB TV that you're using to watch Netflix on. And to the right of that speaker, you even have a whole secondary setup, which is powered by a late 2011 MacBook Pro. And for the peripherals, you have an Apple wireless keyboard, as well as an Apple Magic Mouse. And you've even hooked up a 22-inch AOC monitor to your MacBook Pro. Taking a look at your main PC right here, you have an i7-4790K CPU, cooled by the Corsair H80i all-in-one liquid cooler. For your graphics card, you have the GTX 1060 3GB card from Asus. You have a 1000 watt Corsair 80 Plus Gold power supply, an ASRock Z97X killer motherboard, 3 2TB Seagate Barracuda hard drives, one 240GB Kingston SSD, 16GB of RAM, and all of that is housed inside of the Zalmen Z11 Plus PC case, which I've actually had myself. That was one of the first PC cases that I've ever bought for myself. Absolutely awesome setup, Cameron. You have a lot of things going on here. In terms of cable management, you've done a very, very good job with your setup. I don't really see too many cables in sight at all, so good job there. But in terms of your monitors and like my OCD, consider picking up all matching monitors, at least for the ones in the corner of your desk right here. So you do have two 27-inch BenQ monitors. Consider picking up 2 more to replace the AOC monitors that you have here. I think that would make an enormous difference in your setup, and it would look much, much better having all 4 matching monitors, which would look very, very cool. Also, consider getting a new chair for your setup. I'll leave a link in the description down below to a chair that I found for your setup, so you can check that out. If you don't like it, consider picking up a chair from like GT Omega, DX Racer, or like Noble Chairs, or some random Amazon gaming chair company. But definitely consider picking up a new chair for your setup. You'll be much more comfortable, I think, and I think your setup would look much, much nicer with a high-end chair as well. And finally, consider wall mounting your TV so that you're not using your speaker as a TV stand. Instead, you'd have the TV wall mounted, which I think would look much, much nicer. But apart from that, Cameron, absolutely awesome setup, dude. Very unique, and thank you very much for submitting your setup to the Setup Block Show. And that's going to be it for episode 1 of the Setup Block Show. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in another one soon. Goodbye.
I'm not wrong. I know I'm holding on to this, holding on.